When we have these kinds of problems with numbers, it's actually going to wind up being a lot simpler, because just like when we were doing our operations and we would take, for example, our f minus g of x, and we would take our f of x and subtract our g of x, what we're going to do is we're going to take our f of 2 and subtract our g of 2. We don't have to state the domain on this. We're going to get a numerical answer that's left over from the fact that I copied and pasted when I made the titles. So we're not going to have to state the domain on this. I'm just going to get rid of that line right there. So when we're figuring this out and we have these 2 in place of our x's, I'm just going to figure out f of 2. And I'm going to evaluate that first. So my f of 2, I'm going to substitute 2 in place of x. So we're going to do my 2 squared. That's going to give me 4. So we have the opposite of 4, which is negative 4. When I do the same thing for my g of 2, that's going to be my 2 times 2, and then minus 1. So that's 4 minus 1, so that's 3. So when we're looking at f of 2 minus g of 2, well, my f of 2 is negative 4, and we want to subtract our g of 2, which is 3. So negative 4 minus 3 is going to give us a negative 7. So our f minus g of 2 is going to equal negative 7. When we do our f times g of 2, so that's going to be our f of 2 times our g of 2. So when we do that, we get our negative 4 times our g of 2, which is 3. So that's going to give us negative 12. So when we're doing this with numbers, a lot of times it's going to be a bit simpler. So same thing over here. I want you to go ahead and pause it and try and figure out f plus g of 3, f minus g of 3, f times g of 3, and f divided by g of 3. So pause it and see if we can figure out what to do with these ones. Okay, so when I'm starting these, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find my f of 3, and I'm going to find my g of 3. This is just substituting numbers into our equations. When I'm looking at my f of 3, that's saying if I substitute 3 in right here in place of this x, that's going to give me a 3 plus 3. So my f of 3 is going to give me a value of 6. When I substitute 3 in place of x in g, so g of 3, we're going to have 3 squared. So g of 3 actually is going to equal 9. So when we're looking at our f plus g of 3, what that's going to be is we're going to take our f of 3, which is 6, and add our g of 3, which is going to be 9, and that's going to give us 15. When we do our f minus g of 3, that's going to be my f of 3, which is 6, and we're going to subtract our g of 3, which is 9. So that's going to give us a negative 3. When we do our f times g of 3, that's going to give us our 6 times 9. Six times 9 is going to give us our 54. And f divided by g of 3 is going to give us 6 over 9, which is the same thing as 2/3. So when we have a number substituted in place of x, we're going to substitute that in place of every x, and we're going to have a numerical answer.